Hi everyone, this is Brian from HobbyQuest, and today I'll be showing you how to build the Piper Cub. Now, the Piper Cub is a hand glider type model, uh, and to do this project, everybody's going to be needing a piece of sandpaper and a sanding block, and you as the instructor are going to need super glue. Alright, so everybody's going to be getting one of these packets with the plain parts inside. And you're going to want to open up the packets. Alright, you can do so by pulling apart from the bottom, or you can use some scissors to cut it if needed. And inside you're going to find just a few parts like this. So you're going to have 4 parts. You're going to take the fuselage, and you're going to notice that there are slits to place the wings and the tail into. Now, assembling this is pretty simple, and you're going to want to use your discretion for this next part. If you have a group of students that are slightly older, let's say like 3rd grade, you can have them do the sanding part. If you have students that are younger, you're going to want to do a different activity that'll just involve coloring the fuselage, okay, and decorating it. So if you have, say, 1st graders, you'll want to do that instead. But if you have an older group, you can go ahead and show them that what you want to do is we want to smooth out all the edges and make them all rounded. So we want to smooth the edges out on our fuselage like this. So just take a sanding block and a piece of sandpaper like so, and just go ahead and gently, carefully sand down the edges of your model. Okay, and we want to make the edges as curved as possible, because that will make your model more aerodynamic when it's flying. This is just a hand flyer, so there's no motor or engine or anything like that. We're just going to toss it. Now have your students take their time with this step, because we don't want them to sand down too much of their model. Just do it nice and carefully and be patient. Well, once they feel like they've sufficiently done enough, we can go ahead and take our wing, and we're going to actually sand down a bit of the top part of the wing. And to do that, you're going to want to take your wing, move it to the edge of your table, and just very carefully, very gently sand the top of the wing down a little bit. That'll curve out the edge of the wing so that it has a bit more of an aerodynamic shape. Just the front edge. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the other side of the wing as well. Just like this. Make sure your students take their time and they're not rushing this. Otherwise they might end up breaking their wing. You just want to do the edge, the front edge, and that's all. Okay? We're going to do the same thing with the tail. So this rounded part right here, that is where the tail, the front of the tail is going to be. Just do this nice and carefully so you don't break anything. Alright. So once that's done and they've sanded it down, they're just going to very, very gently slide their wing in place through the slot that's been cut into the fuselage. Now this step can be a bit hard. Sometimes it's a bit tough to get it in. You just want to wiggle it little by little. Be very careful. You don't want to push too hard or you might just break the wing, because it's actually really, really lightweight wood. Just nice and gentle, just wiggle it down until you reach the center. Just like that. Okay? So once that's in place, we can go ahead and take the tail and just slip that into place. Try to center it as much as you can. Just like this. Just like so. Now the last bit is this this rudder part, and that fits in place right above the tail, slides right in. Okay. Now this is pretty much complete, and they can start flying it, but there is a possibility that the tail may come off at some point. So to prevent that, we can take some super glue and just have your students come up to your table, or you can go around one by one and just put a bit of super glue onto the tail, onto the rudder right there. And you can give it a spray of accelerator to dry it up. Also, maybe a good idea to put just a little bit of super glue on the wing. You can just put like a dot on the front and back. This will make sure that the wing doesn't move out of place as well. So when it flies, it should stay in one place. Okay. And yeah, this is the Piper Club. This is a pretty simple hand glider. Once you're done, you can have students all practice flying this just by giving it a bit of a toss. Okay? I hope that was informative, and I hope you and your students have fun and have a great quest.